Why do we have the bridge? It replaces an 8-mile drive. You used to have to drive down 4 miles, go over Fayette Station Bridge and back up 4 miles. As you already know, 35 seconds and you're across the bridge, going the speed limit.
It was a dead end, to tell you the truth. You couldn't get north from here. You couldn't get north. I remember very much as a young man trying to go to see WVU play football. You couldn't get there from here. We went to Blacksburg to watch them play.
The great interstate road network, which had made most other states completely accessible by auto, did little more than skirt West Virginia, still leaving most of its wonders many difficult miles away. It took a special act of Congress to finally make the lovely attractions of West Virginia available to the rest of the Americans. The Appalachian Highway System provided the means of building a number of corridor roads, which bisected the state and presented designers and builders with the most awesome challenges they had ever encountered. Most central of these new arteries was Corridor L, and with it, the greatest challenge of all, the wide and deep New River Gorge.
Right after I got out of graduate school, my first job teaching was at a college near Pittsburgh, and I used to drive down here, and like many people years ago, my wife and I were going home to North Carolina one day, and it was 11:30 at night, and we came and we saw the sign, Fayetteville, 9 miles. And we said, oh, we're going to be there in a second. And then we dropped down the hill. An hour later, we hit Fayetteville, and she says, we're never coming this way again.
You don't just build a big bridge. And building this one took as much planning as it did manpower and equipment. Safely spanning such a wide and deep obstacle without good access roads resulted in the unique method of erecting the steel members with a cableway. The method had been used before, but never on such a giant structure. The cableway was actually a bridge that would build a bridge. After 4 330-foot towers were completed, 2 on each side of the gorge, a helicopter carried a 1/2-inch cable, 5,000 feet long, and weighted against sway across the wide gorge.
It's absolutely phenomenal. The people came from all over the world just to watch this. It is a totally unique structure. It is an engineering marvel. And people came, especially engineer fans, came from all over the world to watch this bridge being built. Locals would come out here every single day and see what progress had been made.
Work began on the Great Arch when the first cords were placed on August 13th, 1975. Two great 95 by 135-foot portable flying carpets, one on each side, provided safety platforms for the men every inch of the way across the breathtaking 1,700-foot span. As the arch arms extend further and further from their springing points, the tiebacks moved with them to support the great and growing load. As the steel reached out, it also reached up, demanding as much courage and confidence as it did competence to continue to link the giant together, section by section.
I live in Thurman, West Virginia, and I moved down here from Pennsylvania in the late 60s. Again, my brothers and I, we started a rafting company called Wildwater Expeditions Unlimited Incorporated. It was cool to come down the river every day, okay, and see one more piece of steel. So we took a lot of pictures, and you know, when you look at it today, it's hard to believe that it took 3.5 years to get it there. Okay, but then you think, God, that only took 3.5 years.
The morning that they opened the bridge was phenomenal. It was absolutely more than anybody could have anticipated. We crested over the hill at Fayetteville, and out in front of us at just about daylight was thousands of people, and we expected a goodly turnout, but not probably 25,000 people, and that's what it was. It was just phenomenal. It was a typical October day, the most beautiful foliage you could ask for, and it made you speechless.
On October 22nd, 1977, representatives of all participating firms were on hand to dedicate the Great Bridge. Governor J. Rockefeller proudly announced that the very heartland of his wondrous state was now easily accessible to people everywhere, and that enchanting state parks nearby were preparing to welcome the world.